Hello Nippies! A little bit of a different intro today. We're going to be working on this Patreon postcard, which I am so proud of. I'm so happy with how this came out. This is for October, and because we're in Inktober month, I decided to go with something black and white, kind of in the style that I did my Inktober test. And honestly, I just really love it. This is my character Pim from my comic OFFcell. If you haven't already heard about it, Tapastic, Webtoons, and OFFcellcomic.com, 18 plus. Be careful. If you guys want to see how this is made, stick around and keep watching. I just been loving creating traditional art lately, so hopefully you guys don't get sick of these. I love sitting at my station and pulling out my traditional art supplies and creating this kind of stuff. And today I'm going to be using a reference picture, which is something that I don't typically do, but yeah, we're going to be talking about using reference and stuff as well. So if that's something you guys want to watch, stick around. Before we start today, a lot of you have asked me to talk about my materials, so I'm going to attempt to do that. Let me know what you guys think down below if this is something that you guys want implemented into my traditional art videos. But this is what I used for this drawing today. Here I have my Sumi ink extra dark. This bottle lasts forever. Like, I only did like a tiny little squirt, and it's so pigmented. One little dot with some water will last you quite a bit, and this is just one of my favorite inks to use. I've got my two favorite brushes here. I need to get some more, but I got a pretty big round one and then a very thin. I like how long the brush is, just because it allows me to see where I'm drawing, and I like a lot of fine details, but it also like spreads out really nice. So these two are probably my main brushes. Oh, forgot to include this in here. This is my gouache, so I use the Arteza. I didn't own gouache before Arteza, so thanks to them for hooking me up with everything. If you guys haven't seen my Arteza art supply review video, I'll go ahead and put that in the upper right hand corner if you want to check it out. I drew some butts with that, so maybe you'll enjoy that. Then to sketch, a lot of you guys asked me what pencils I use. I use the Graph Gear 1000. This brand of pencils is my absolute ride or die. I live and die by these pencils. I have two of each, and I have them in like all sizes. So I have them in 0.5 and 0.9 as well. Like, I absolutely love these pencils. I use my 0.7 for my colored lead under sketches. So those of you that have seen me do my colored lead under sketches, this is the brand that I use. This is like another one of my favorites. I've been using these for years, and they come in all sorts of colors on Amazon. You can buy the rainbow pack. Then my 0.3 pencil, I absolutely love doing really fine details, and so I like my next sketch layer after my under sketch to be a little bit thinner. So, and because of that, I do have this over here, my mono mini eraser. They have them in different shapes and different thicknesses, but I like the thinnest one. Then I've got my thicker mono eraser as well, and then I've got this one over here. This one's more for like getting rid of my under sketch, getting rid of my pencil lines, and just tapping lightly to kind of make them lighter so I can go over with ink potentially. And my trusty white charcoal pencil, another one of my huge favorites for highlighting, as well as my jelly roll. Highlights are huge for me. I absolutely love how they make drawings pop up on the page, and so that's pretty much all the materials that I use for this drawing. Hopefully you enjoyed this item intro. A lot of you have asked me before, so let me know what you thought, if this is how you like it done, and yeah, let's get right into the drawing. Alright guys, so for today's postcard drawing traditional video, which you guys are now, I'm a traditional artist, that's it, let's just call it how it is. So these are done for my Patreon. Guys, thank you so much for supporting. This is the highest tier, obviously, so I draw these once a month. You get your own personalized one, whichever one of my characters you like, and I draw them for you on a postcard and send it to you. Right now I only have one Patreon for this tier, so it's always Pim. So if you guys are tired of seeing postcards of Pim, you guys can blame GB, because GB's the one that holds that tier. So a big and special shout out to GB. Thank you so much. So this is the postcard for October. I wanted to kind of keep the Inktober theme and use ink. I actually wanted to try to do like a vintage type value situation, and so I decided to go with a reference picture, which I usually don't ever do. I typically just think it up and wing it and hope that it works, but I've been trying to be more proactive about using references and being okay with using them. I think at the stage that I'm at right now, I think it's important to sometimes dial it down, relearn the fundamentals, reinforce those fundamentals, and then kind of go from there. I typically start off with this kind of rough sketch with my colored lead, very dark, thick lead, just to be very loose and free. I use these scrap papers so that way if I mess up, if it's too dark, I want to start over, it's easy to trace. I could just put the paper over the other one if I need to fix something, refine something. So it's always just very stress-free. I use the light box once I'm pretty happy with my sketch, and I transfer it over to the actual paper that I'm going to be working on. Now, with this painting in particular, I actually really like the original sketch more. And so you'll see me here kind of struggling to get that energy from the original. And so I mess with the eyes a little bit, I erase it, move it over. I start messing with the hair to make it look more like the character, so I loosen it up. I try to divert from the reference picture and then create my own picture. Now, I am trying to practice values and shadows, and so I think as far as black and white goes, and the values specifically, I tried to stick pretty closely to the reference picture. We finally start with the line art, which if you guys have seen my traditional videos enough, you guys know that from that colored pencil sketch, I typically go into a pencil layer, like a gray, just straight gray pencil layer. I do that to kind of tweak it a little bit before I go just straight into inking. But here I decided to just go directly to the inking phase. And I think it's because I wanted to take the stress off a little bit from trying to add way too much detail, because my main focus was going to be the black and white values. And I think I just tried to convince myself that it was going to be fine, which I'm glad, because it did actually turn out fine. I'm pretty happy with the line art and how it came out despite skipping the pencil layer. Here I do use my Sumi ink once again. I've been using it a lot lately and I am just so in love with it. Guys, I love traditional media. There's just something about traditional art and sitting in my little station with the drawing in front of me that you really just can't replace. I start layering the darkest values. I didn't want to go too dark. I wanted to kind of layer them on, but lately I've been getting pretty comfortable about putting like really dark values on without layering them. I think the more I do this, the more comfortable I get with allowing my instincts and my experience to take over and not being so scared. Because, I mean, as you guys know with traditional media, we don't have an undo button. Yes, there's a way that you can fix quote unquote mistakes, as you guys will see here, because later I use gouache to kind of fix up that shoulder there and add some white highlights. But to a certain extent, there's really only so much you can do with traditional mediums, and so adding really dark values where they don't belong is one of the scariest things to me. But the more I've done these, the more excited I get to just try and just let my instincts and my gut and my experience take over. And you know, if I do make a mistake, I make a mistake, and that's kind of part of the learning process. And so I've been doing kind of these studies where I do use a reference picture in order to just add that into my mental library and really cultivate that experience gut meter. I don't know what to call it, but really just honing my instincts, I guess. I really love that gradient black background that the original portrait has, and I was gonna do it first before I even started putting values on him, but I think that I really wanted the values on Pim to be solidified because I think having that black background tricks my eyes into making it look different. I was like, let me just do the values on him first and then move to the background, and then we can go back and forth that way. Here you see me just trying to get those deep blacks. For some reason, even with like not putting that much water into it, it was still drying a little too light. So you'll see me go in with several washes trying to get it to look much darker than it is. Look at how much ink I put on my palette, and it's not even that much. And look at how much I'm using. Like, that ink is so strong. I need to really like start putting like just a little tiny drop, because even though I have an entire bottle of it, like, I don't think I'm gonna run out anytime soon. That ink really just a little bit goes a long way. I absolutely love that Sumi ink. I should probably put an Amazon shop or something. I used to have it before when people used to ask me about my materials and stuff. I had an Amazon shop with everything that I used. If I do decide to put it up again, I'll go ahead and put the link in the description so you guys can see exactly which ones I have and which ones I used. So here you'll see me do the finishing touches. I use the gouache to do the highlights. And then we'll just putting some highlights here with my white gel pen and my charcoal pencil, trying to make it really look finished. And here we go. I actually really am super proud of this piece, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I can't wait to mail this one out. I'm so happy with this. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys thought. Let me know whatever you guys would like to see in the future. Thank you guys again for all the support. I will see you guys next video. Much love, guys. Bye.